What's good everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the Nike A1 in this black and hyper pink colorway, A'ja Wilson's first signature shoe with Nike. Alright, before we take a look at the shoes that actually don't release until May 29th, I'll get into the story on how I grabbed these in a second. I do want to take a look at the box that they do come in. You do have the Nike, the A'ja signature, and the A'ja Wilson logo right here with her name on the top of the box. It does read A1. Now this is a US women's size 9, a men's 7.5. Inside the box you have some of that same print on the tissue paper. And again, this is kind of an all over print box in like this black, gray, and white running throughout. But without further ado, let's take a look at the shoes. Alright, so how I acquired this pair early. I was in my local Foot Locker here in Calgary, Alberta. I was grabbing something else. I looked on the wall and here was this pair of the A1 in the black and hyper pink colorway. I had asked the employee, when did those release? She had said actually that they put them out a couple days ago, and the sticker inside the shoe said 05/29, so May 29th. I look online, it says May 29th as well for the release date. I was a little bit confused, but I thought, you know what, I will grab a pair. This is more or less my son's size. It's about a size too big for him, so he could wear this probably within 6 months to a year. I will kind of decide if I keep these for him or not, but I did want to get a review out on this model because I am looking forward to playing in this model right here, and I think this colorway is gorgeous with the really light pink, the dark pink, and the black running throughout. But without further ado, let's take a look at A'ja Wilson's signature shoe with Nike. Alright, so I kind of want to give you guys a tech breakdown and or overview of this model, what you're getting for the price point of 110 USD, 145 here in Canada. Now, as it usually goes with women's basketball shoes, the bigger sizes sell out right away and they're typically harder to get. They didn't have anything bigger than a women's size 9 in store. I know the kind of white and ice blue or light blue pair is releasing May 15th. I will be trying for those on the Foot Locker app, but I did want to put out this review on this pair right here and kind of what you're getting for that price point of 110/145, and that starts with the outsole. So as far as the traction pattern you're getting on this outsole, you're kind of getting these little blade patterns, these little nubs kind of running throughout. The grooves are kind of deep, I would say. They're not shallow at all, and the rubber compound is kind of a medium firmness. It's not overly firm, it's not soft. So I do think you could probably bring these outdoors if you wanted to, but for me, when I get my proper size, I will be grabbing a pair for indoor use. The traction pattern wraps up right up to the toe box, not so much on the side right here, but it looks like it's going to be a great traction pattern for on-court use, and I think dust is going to kind of flow through this traction pattern and you're not going to have too many issues with it clogging it up. Time will tell, but for me, I would have to say that this looks like it's going to be a very solid traction pattern on this model. Now, moving your way up from that, as far as the cushioning goes in this model, for me, that's this model's one of its biggest disappointments. So the foam carrier on the outside is a Phylon foam carrier. It's Nike's kind of standard foam compound, really nothing special at all. Here poking out on the lateral side, and I believe on the medial side as well, is Cushlon 3.0, and from what I understand, you're getting a full bed underneath the insole of Cushlon 3.0 from the heel all the way to the forefoot, and that should make for a pretty plush and comfortable ride underfoot. But keep in mind that foam compounds do break down rather quickly and become a lot more dead. Now, I would have loved to see them put Cushlon as the midsole and either a heel or forefoot Zoom airbag. And before anyone says that that's too much tech for the price point of $110, if you remember, Paul George's models were always 110, 145 here in Canada, and we had forefoot Zoom at some points. We had, I believe, full-length Air Strobel as well. So it would have been nice to see them kind of add a little bit more tech within this model, but that's what you're getting as far as the cushioning goes. You can feel the Cushlon 3.0 right here, and it does feel really nice and soft and springy, and that should be the feeling that you're getting under your foot. Why did they put the foam compound on the outside being Phylon? That's to kind of keep things stable from teetering side to side and just add some stability underfoot. Now, as far as the materials go on this model, you're kind of getting this really scratchy screen mesh material basically all the way around the shoe. Here at the back, you kind of have this super or like micro length nubuck material that runs down the eye stay. It's kind of like a raw material, so it does feel nice and it looks nice on this model. At the back, you do have a synthetic material at the heel counter right here, and then everything else is this really firm screen mesh material that feels like it's going to take a while to break in. So keep that in mind. You're not getting any premium materials, and you shouldn't expect any either with this model, because keep in mind this is a $110 basketball shoe, so it is on the budget side of things as far as what you're getting for tech and overall materials. Do I think this material is going to last? Yes, I do, because it feels very firm to the touch and it feels pretty thick as well. So I think the materials are decent. It's just going to take some time to break in. Now, as far as the fit goes with this model, obviously with it being a men's size 7.5, I cannot try them on, but everything that I've seen online is that this shoe fits ridiculously small. Most people are saying go up half a size, and I have seen a lot of people saying going up a full size is 100% necessary. Just look how tapered this toe box is. There's really no volume, and I think the biggest issue is that it really tapers in here as well. In the forefoot, it is very narrow. So a ton of people have been saying it's narrow, it runs short. The toe box is really shallow right here as well. So they have been saying, like, if you're a size 10.5, go up to 11 or an 11.5 for men's, because this shoe runs very small. I will have my son try these on. Another thing I will mention is that there is a ton of padding at the back of the shoe, so that will typically push your foot forward just a little bit more and make a shoe feel a little bit smaller. So keep in mind, I would try these on in store if you have the opportunity, or order a couple pairs online, try them on at home, and then return the ones that don't fit. But just keep in mind, from what I'm hearing, this shoe runs very short. And then as far as the support that you're getting within this model right here, it seems like it's going to do a pretty decent job. You have an internal TPU heel counter at the back of the shoe. It's very firm, and it does run down to right about here. And I think it should do a very nice job for locking your foot in at the back of the shoe. Right here, you do have this TPU plate that is iridescent. I believe it is to signify the pearlized earrings or necklace that her grandmother always told her to wear. It is very nice in hand, and it will add some stability here underfoot and act as a lateral side guard for hard lateral cuts, because your foot is seated housed within this foam and this plate right here. You also have some rubber that does wrap up near your pinky toe, so that's going to help protect your foot on those hard lateral cuts as well. At the bottom of the shoe, you have a decently wide and stable base right here, and at the corner right here on the lateral side, you do have an outrigger that's there to prevent your foot from teetering over if you do land awkwardly within this model. So all things considered, I do think it's a pretty supportive basketball shoe. I'm not sure if there's a shank plate. If I had to guess, I would say that there isn't, considering they have this TPU plate right here. But honestly, having these in hand now that they have released, or at least they put this pair on shelves, I would say that I really like the look of the shoe in hand, and I think it's going to perform decently for the price point. One other thing I will mention as far as the support goes, you have these two eyelets right here, and I believe this does run down kind of like a strap into the stromal board, so when you really crank those laces down, it wraps really nicely around your foot. So in my opinion, I think this will hold up for bigger players, smaller players, females or males. I think you'll be good to go as far as the support goes in the Nike A1. And then really quickly, as far as all the details on this model, at the back of the shoe, you do have her signature, Asia, obviously for Asia Wilson. At the bottom of the shoe, there is some script. I believe it says weakness, weakness, we don't got time for that, right here with some exclamation marks. And then right here it says, as a matter of fact, the best is yet to come. You have her logo right here. At the tip of the toe, you have her signature. On the medial side, you have a black swoosh with that Cushlon poking out right here. You also have some more of that cush line poking out on the lateral side. Again, this pearlized plate right here at the top of the tongue. You do have her logo right here again. So there is a ton of details on this shoe. I'm really loving them in hand, and I'm super excited to hopefully get my size and get them on court so I can give you guys a full performance review. Really quickly, do I think this shoe is going to be breathable? I don't really think it will be. This screen mesh is pretty thick. It's pretty tightly knit. You do have some really micro perforations right here on the medial side. The tongue is pretty thick as well, so I don't think this shoe is going to be overly breathable. I will also mention the laces. They kind of have these kind of lines running throughout the laces, and they're kind of, I don't know, they kind of have a pattern going through them. They're a little bit different than a standard lace. So there is a ton of cool details on this model, and I am excited to hopefully grab my size shortly. But that's going to do it for today's video on this black and hyper pink pair of Nike A1s. Sound off in the comments if you guys are looking forward to picking these up come May 29th. Do you like this colorway? Do you hate them? Which pair are you looking to pick up? Or are you don't care for this model in general? I will say for what you're getting for $110, it's not bad. I would have just liked to see a little bit more tech as far as the cushioning goes, because I do think the traction, the support, the materials are decent. Obviously the fit, try them on in store. I think you're getting a decent bang for your buck for her first signature shoe. And I will also mention, I do like this colorway better than the launch all pink colorway. I do like the black on the upper half of the shoe on how it kind of breaks it up. I think it just adds a bit of a nice flair to it. But sound off in the comments what you think of her first signature shoe with Nike basketball. Like I said, that's going to do it for today's video on the black and hyper pink Nike A1. Sound off in the comments if you're looking forward to picking this colorway up or a different one come release date. But as always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that would definitely help the channel out a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.